Hello, good morning and welcome back to the Fish Locker out on the boat. Out for an absolutely glorious morning on the boat. Sun's just come up. It is a stunning Sunday. We've had a bad week. We've had an awful lot of rain this week, so the inshore water quality is dirty. Dirty green and brown is the inshore water, so we're going to have to go a long way off to try and find some clean. Small tides today, so we're going to try a little bit of wrecking. Let's go. That's what we're after. Yeah, first order of business is try and find some bait. Ideally, I would like mackerel. Mackerel would be the best thing, but finding some sand eels, some scads, some pilchards, something else like that will also work. I can use the sand eels as live bait, or I can use the sand eels to catch things like pouting. Either way, like fresh is best. Yeah, I'm going to be food chain fishing today, working my way up the food chain. If I can find some nice bait fish, I'll then use them bait fish to catch bigger fish. That's what we're after. That should do. Right there, we've got a dozen nice lawns. Those will work really well for live bait, and also I want to chop some of them up and bait some feathers with them to catch some pouting. I'll explain all that when we get to the wreck, but yeah, that is a very good start. We have got a long distance to go now, so let's get at it. Just steaming along, out the corner of my eye I saw a load of birds kind of change direction, and I've just followed them and I've found an area. Now, I haven't got the fishing tackle suitable to be able to target these fish, but I found an area probably twice the size of a football pitch, which is just alive with birds and with fish. Now, I've brought me heavy wrecking gear. For this I would need like a light spinning rod, but I'm going to try my best. But yeah, when I spin the boat around, you'll see how many birds there are. There's probably 500 if not 700 birds. It is this is the type of sight that you look for when you're targeting bass. I'm hoping there's going to be some mackerel in amongst them. Yeah, if I'd had my spinning rod, all I would have done was I would have just laid up near them and cast towards where they're feeding. That's what usually picks them out. Oh, there they are. Yes. I was hoping there was going to be some mackerel in amongst them. Skinny pollock mixed in it. Little skinny pollock. I'm going to swing around again, because if I can pluck a couple more mackerel out of there, that would be fantastic. The sand eels that I've got are good, but mackerel are better. That was purely just reacting to what I was seeing on the signs around me. This is just absolutely crazy. There's fish everywhere, I just can't get on the hook. Didn't bring a spinning rod with me today because I'm going offshore. Yes. Hopefully this is videoed it. I put a camera down with a live bait in front of it, and hopefully it's picked up a bass. No, but it's a nice pollock. Tell you what, I don't mind that as a consolation prize. Yeah. There's the pollock. There's the live bait. There's the hook just in the corner of its mouth. Look. I am going to keep this one. I am going to keep this pollock. Drop him down there in a live bait tank for 2 minutes. Let him calm down, then I'll dispatch him bleeding. Of course I could see a lot of fish down there. I put a little camera down. This is a Westin escape cam. Fingers crossed it's managed to get all that on camera. If it has, it'll go in here now. If not, you won't even see this. You can see as the camera gets down to around 10 meters, the plankton is in a really thick cloud. Plankton fibers and algae. The water is just minging with it, with a few bass lurking at the back. Get ready for it. 3, 2, 1, bang. Pollock ambushed the live bait from below. Anyway, I've messed about inshore enough. These fish are being really frustrating. If I had a spinning rod, I would be able to pull them out one after the other. But I just, yeah, I haven't got one. I am going to go offshore where I plan to go. I've killed an hour. I've already lost an hour of the tide, so I need to get moving. Right, well, we have arrived. We are a long way offshore now. We have the best part of probably, what are we looking? 4 to 5 feet every 3 to 4 seconds. It's all right. We are in 92 meters of water. My first plan is get this rod up off the floor. I'm going to drift over this wreck with a slow jig. Firstly, round to just see what the drift's going to be like. Secondly, because I might pluck some out on the jig. First drift's usually like a sacrificial one. You don't really know how it's going to work. You don't know which direction you're going to go, what the speed's going to be. So yeah, I'm going to have a quick drift over it, and then I'm going to swing back round, and then I'll knock up a bait. All I do is I carry inside my little box of tricks. I usually just have a little wallet with some pre-made rigs on. These have got like wrecking rigs, fish locker, one-hook wrecking rigs or conger rigs. I'll show you through all of them in a minute when I'm doing that fishing. But right now I'm going to stick a jig on. This is actually a brand new Temu special. Cost me all of about 80 pence. I've stuck a pair of good hooks on them there though. The hooks that came with them are pretty naff. So yeah, I've stuck a nice pair of assists on it. And this is my Battalion solid jigging rod. And it is, if I remember rightly, yeah, it is 200 grams. This jig's 150, this rod's rated for 200 grams. And this is a Fathom low profile left hand. Now, I'm going to steam round up tide of the wreck. We're drifting at around about 0.8, between 0.8 and 1.1 knots. So I'm going to go up tide of the wreck by like maybe 50-60 meters and drift down over it, drop my jig down, bounce my jig around on top of the wreck. looking for anything like pollock or ling. When I put the baits out, that's more for the ling. This is, jigs will catch them both. You don't so often catch pollock on like mackerel baits. Still happens, but not always. There was like an awful lot of chaff coming through on the screen. I'm imagining this is all plankton. We have a band between 20 and 60 metres. It's just thick with it. It comes through on the sounder just like chaff, like interference. Yeah, I think that's what that is. Hopefully it's not so bad on the seabed and it won't put the fish off too much. I had a session out on the shore and it was, yeah, just, I couldn't figure it out. There was fish everywhere, but they just weren't taking them, and I think it was because of the plankton, because the plankton content of the water inshore is thick. That's why I've come offshore today, hoping that I can get away from it, but I don't know, I might not be able to. One thing I'll need to get ready, Aisling, is a pair of gloves, in case you come snagged. Yeah, a lot of the wrecks have like lost fishing gear on them, lost ghost nets. So not only are they snaggy because they're a shipwreck, but also some of them have got like bits of net on them. Oh, there's a fish. Ooh. That feels like quite a good one. The gassing line off me. Yeah, all I did was I was just kicking the engine back to reposition myself over the wreck, because I don't know if you can see that the wind's swinging me round. Yeah. The wind keeps cocking me round and we've got wind against tide. I was trying to keep the camera away from the sun. Like that. And yeah, I just bumped the jig up a couple of turns, dropped it back, and someone plucked it up on the way down. So I'm expecting this is going to be a pollock just because of the way it's been running. But it feels like a good one. Now I am keen to take a couple of fish today. I don't mind taking a couple for the table when I can get it right. Wet that lens. I'll be okay taking a couple of fish for the table today. Now, that being said, if it's a fish that I don't want to keep, like if I catch too many pollock or it's too small, you take your time bringing it to the boat. Because I know I'm taking this, I'm kind of just horsing it in. I would be stopping at intervals and letting the fish kind of dive back. That is a flipping massive pollock. Turn round, Joe. Oh yes. Now that's a good pollock, that. This guy's actually, he's been in nets before, you can see them scars on his back. But yeah, that is perfect, that is exactly what I'm after. That is a fantastic eating fish right there. It's a double figure fish, first drop with my Timu jig. This fish here has taken both of the assist hooks. He was not coming off, and yet that's exactly what I'm after. That is a fantastic sized eating pollock. There's the hooks. I'll get this guy dispatched and bled, and then we'll go around again. There we go. Same again, all it is, it's just a T-mo jig with a couple of, these are 6/0 assists. And the line that I've got on here is 30-pound braid. I have got a 40-pound fluoro leader on there, but that's just because that's, if there's anywhere that's going to come in contact with like the seabed or some fish's teeth, it's going to be the leader. It's going to be a challenge today to keep the sun off the camera lens, but we'll see what we can do. Taking a completely different drift this time. I'm glad I tried this first with the jig, because it's more responsive, this type of fishing. If I hadn't caught those mackerel on the way here, I would have filleted off some of the sand eels and put them on some mackerel feathers, and then use them down on the wreck, down in the area around it, to try and catch some pouting and some whiting and some poor cod, and then I would have used them as bait. It's important to kind of do that, checking to see what the life of the wreck's like. Because if there's no little fish on a wreck, there won't be any big fish on the wreck. That's 2 more drifts through there with the jig, and I've had nothing else on the jig. I'm going to try having a drift through with a live sand eel, see if anything else picks up, and then I'll go to using a bait. I'm pretty sure I know which way the boat's drifting now. It's the only problem about fishing in stick water. It's a long way down and a long way back up. It's one of the beauties about using live eels, especially when you're in a little bit of swell like this, is they generally work themselves. So I had a look at it. Oh, I'll tell you what, it was panicking. There's something down there around it, because I can feel the sand eel panicking. There'll be a pollock or a ling swimming around it, maybe even a big pouty. Found something. I'm taking my time because I've only got a little hook on. Oh no. I was taking my time in case it was a John Dory, and it's not, it's just a pout. Just a fat pouting. Stick another live bait on and drop down because we've still got a little bit of this drift left. And then, yeah. There is a chance on these smaller tides at this time of year of finding a John Dory. So one of the outside hopes that I've got is by putting one of these live baits down on these wrecks, I will come back with a John Dory on one time. Now that didn't fight like a pouting, it just was a solid weight all the way up, and I had my hopes up. But not quite. Oh, there's a fish. Again, just drop down with a live bait. Yeah, there is a bit of plankton, it's coming up on the line. Drop down with a live bait, as soon as it touched the bottom, 3 or 4 lines, bam, 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 straight on. All I'm doing here, you notice I'm not pumping and winding. I'm just keeping a very steady, gradual increase, a slow one, just easing it to the boat, because it's not the biggest of hooks, and you don't know where the hook's got the fish. And all I've done is I've set the drag relatively light. I mean, the drag's this light. So when the fish wants to run, it can run. And then I can gain line when I can gain line. This rod is a little bit heavy for pollocking, a little bit stiff. This is like a wrecking for ling and conger rod. There you go, there's another lovely pollock for the table. There's the circle hook right in the corner of the mouth. Surprising the number of times that these circles lock them right in the scissors, like right in there. If I'd caught this guy in short, I would have dropped him back, but you'll just get a perfect size fillet off the side of that. This fish is about, have we got a tape measure on board? Yes, I have. I'm going to guess this one's going to be about 55 to 60 centimetres. 58 centimetres. Now I am going to go and dispatch and bleed this fish. I'm not going to do it on camera because I know some people don't like seeing it. But if you want to know how to do it, Google ikajime. Ikajime. There we go. I have enough pollock now. I'm going to go around, put a big bait down and see if I can't get a ling out. Because the drift is a little unpredictable, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down first with a 1-hook wrecking rig. Now I just knocked these up at home. There we go. It is just like a 1-hook scratching rig but on steroids. It's got a size 12-0 hook. I like having muppets on them. On one end it's got a clip for a lead, in which case what I'm going to do is, because this wreck is quite a snaggy wreck, is I've made like a rotten bottom clip. Like a loop like that. So all you need to do is just loop your mono into your clip. Now it all depends on strength. Like some people might use a really weak rotten bottom, like 8 pound. I don't. I've got I think I've got a 50 pound main line and I've got an 80 pound leader, and this is a 100 pound mono and this is 20. So yeah, if the lead gets stuck, hopefully the lead should snap out. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to bait this with one of the mackerel that I caught earlier. I'm going to take the flappers off, take a fillet off one side and flapper the rest, and then send it down in the hope of a ling. I've flappered off that mackerel, and as I was cutting it open, I've checked to see what was in its belly to see what they were eating there. And all of them seagulls, the bass, the pollock and everything, and the mackerel were all feeding on sand eels that are literally that big. Look, they're just full of masses and masses of sand eels that are like smaller than a cigarette. So yeah, that's why I was struggling. That's why I was struggling to catch them on a launch that was that big. Because they're eating stuff that's absolutely minute. Swing round and have a go. There you go. Nice big juicy mackerel bait. Slop it around a little bit. But that's it. That's what's going to do the damage for us. This is very reactive fishing. We're going to be right down in amongst the wreck. So you're better off doing this on smaller tides, just because the tide's not pushing you through as fast. And you need to be really on it. Searching out and feeling what the seabed's doing through the lead. If it's coming up, bring it up. If it's going down, let it down. The ling live right in amongst all the roughest, snaggiest bits. So if you're not down in amongst it, you don't stand a very good chance of getting one. An absolutely monstrous great sailor's just turned up. And I mean massive. It's got a head like a flipping basketball. He's just over it, he's just dived down now. This is going to be an issue because if we catch a good fish, he's going to take it off us. lots of fish in the wreck. Whoa. I think that seal spotted me and come over, because how would he possibly know where this wreck was? These swells are increasing, they are more like 7 and 8 feet now. They're still a good time apart. It's not hopefully causing me too much of an issue. I have hooked a fish, and I think that seal's had it off me, because I had it up for about 4 winds and a real big pull and it was gone. There he is, right on the other side of me, with a fish. If he does it again, we're going to have to move, because it's just going to be a pain. Since that seal's turned up, this wreck has just completely switched off. I'm not seeing any fish on the sounder now. They all seem to just be hiding tight inside the wreck. So like before, there was loads of fish around. Pouting, pollock, and there will have been ling as well. And now as soon as he's rocked up and he's down in amongst it, it's just switched the whole thing off. He's robbed one fish off me already. Yeah, fresh mackerel like this in amongst a wreck, you should be getting absolutely hammered by pouting. The rod tip's just motionless. We're sat lovely right smack bang on top of the wreck. Tell you what, I'll spend 5 minutes looking at the charts and see if I can't find another wreck around here, because yeah, that seal's killed it. I'm now at a new wreck that is 3.5 miles away from the last one, so hopefully that seal will stay over there. All I'm after is a ling, so I've just dropped straight down with the bait. If I manage to pull a ling out, I'll be absolutely over the moon. Conditions that you want for this, you'll either want like wind and tide together, or no wind. I've got wind against tide. So the tide is carrying my bait and weight that way, and the wind is carrying the boat that way. I am suspecting another pouting. Of course it is, another monster pouting. Just lots and lots of pout, I think. Just millions of these down there. The mackerel baits are lasting seconds. This is what I was saying about that other wreck. Like the fact that I was getting nothing, them baits was just sitting there, shows me that someone had switched off on the wreck. Dropped the jig down straight away. Oh, someone's had a go at him. Yeah, look, they're just smashing the ends off my flappers. This wreck is just absolutely minging with pouting. Now that should mean it's good for ling and conger as well. We've just got to find a way of getting past the pouting. Another way of fishing these wrecks on small tides is to fish at anchor. The reason why I haven't put the anchor down, I'm not fishing at anchor, is just because of these swells. Keeping your baits on the seabed when you're going over swells. You'd have to leave too much slack line and you'd be swinging around because it's wind against tide. Yet another wreck. Give this one a couple of drifts, and then if there's nothing else, then it just shows that it's something going on in the water, plankton or something like that, because we've been to loads of wrecks and they've got life on them. Fish just start having it. And these sets are getting bigger. Had a real good bite. Flipped around to turn the camera on and it bound me up in it all. Well, that's the lot gone. Never mind. Yeah, I think we're too much up against it. That's swell. Coming up and down on those swell. Like, I mean, they're big now. You're coming right up, so you're all the way off the bottom, and if you try to stay contact to the bottom, you let some slack off, so when you're going down in the trough, it all drops. Yeah, it just. And with wind against tide, not the ideal conditions. We have had some cracking pollock. That is a massive bonus. I think what I might do is I might swing round on the top side of this wreck and I'll drop down with a jig one more time, and then we will get going, because I have got some filleting to do and I want to get home in decent time. Yeah, the fact that we've tried all these different wrecks, and I can know there's fish there because I can see them on the sound and they're just not having it. Yeah, there's something going on. It's got to be that plankton. I mean, water temperature's good, 11.5 degrees. Yeah. Well, this is unusual. I don't know where he's come from, but either way, I'm going to have to take him ashore. They're one of them migrating penguins. Those conditions really did get sloppy towards the end. I've come in here now, I'm sheltered, so that I can fillet these fish. I wasn't going to do them out at sea just because I was getting thrown about all over the place, and it would be daft, wouldn't it? Yeah, just wait half an hour and do them when you're stable like this, so I risk cutting your finger off again. So yeah, I'm going to gut those fish now and then I'm going to fillet some off. To give you some type of bearing, this pollock weighs 11.9, 11.11. This pollock weighs nearly 12 pounds and it's been gutted and bled as well. That was like a 14, 15 pound pollock. And we're done. Filleted and V-boned. I tell you what, those big ones really were stunning fillets. And everything that's left, we're going to try and turn that into a crab or a lobster. I hope you enjoyed joining me. I hope you found it interesting. All the very best. See you later. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the Fish Locker YouTube channel, where we have hundreds of videos from our adventures just like this one. We upload new videos every Sunday evening, so don't forget to click subscribe and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go!